Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. This is part 2 of the video that I had before for the third eye that I just posted recently. So just go back and see that video if you haven't seen that yet. The reason why I'm doing this video, especially around third eye chakras, I know a lot of people know a lot about chakras already, but those that are on my channel, you're either aware of it already or maybe this is for someone who doesn't know about it yet, right? Is because the full moon in Capricorn talks a lot about our vision for what we are creating when it comes to stability, our long-term goals, our discipline, structure, legacy that we're creating for ourselves. So we need to take our energy and our visions and our imagination of what that looks like and ground it into physical reality, right? Even if it means taking it one day at a time. And right now, a lot of people might just be getting distracted or just feeling overwhelmed, maybe hyperactive in their third eye or hypoactive in their third eye. So the last video, I kind of gave you some examples of what that looks like for both. And here, we're just going to talk briefly about some things that you can do, basic things that you can do, but also very powerful things that I've done in my own life. All right, so starting from the overactive, if you have an overactive pineal gland, and I think I mentioned this in the last video, one of the signs was having breakthroughs, right? And at the time I was having a lot of bad migraines, bad headaches. Like I couldn't even, I'm telling you, I still feel it. I don't care how many times I have to say this, but I still feel it. Like I used to have to put my head under the pillow because it was so bad. But unbeknownst to me, I was actually going through an awakening. A lot of energy was going into that third eye chakra, right? So one of the things that I did around the time was sun gaze. And we're not talking about sun gazing at 12 p.m. when the sun is at its highest peak. We are talking about sun gazing either the first 30 minutes, 40 minutes of the day in the AM early, or the last 30 minutes or 40 minutes of the evening when the sun is still like red, orange, you know, before it turns yellow and then it turns white, bright light in your eyes, okay? When it's red and orange and the sky looks like it's just opening up, oh, that's a perfect time to sun gaze. And when you sun gaze, you'll see that without blinking, right? You're gonna sun gaze and you're gonna do it without blinking. Eventually the center of the sun is gonna start rotating like this, out of a line, out of its how can I say, out of its frame, so to speak. If the sun is like this, the center is gonna start like going like this, and it kind of is gonna give you the illusion that there's like a silver lining around the sun, right? But it's just the melanin that is kind of like exchanging the energy of the light referred that it sees, and you'll see the inside of the sun turns like gray or dark, while the outside is like you'll see a silver lining, which I think is really beautiful when you can actually get there. But you can do it a lot easier when you do it early in the morning or when the sun is setting, when the sun is rising and when the sun is setting, okay? Sun gazing is one of the best things that you can do if it's overactive or underactive. That's one of the things that you can do if it's either or. All right, number two, one of the things that I've done also for if it's overactive is alternate breathing, alternate nasal breathing, right? So you want to breathe in one nostril while you close the other one, hold it, and then breathe out the other nostril as you exhale. And then from here, hold it. You're going to inhale through that nostril that you just exhaled, hold it, and then you're going to inhale back, well, exhale back out to the opposing nostril, right? And one of the benefits of this, shout out to Baba Wayne Chandler. He taught me a lot working with him one-on-one. It really helps to cool the channels, the feminine and masculine energy within our bodies, right? The front being feminine, the back being masculine, but also just the different type of nadis within our system, cooling that center. Like if it's the warm, there's hot and cold, so you're cooling it when you're breathing in, and when you're changing, you're warming up the one that's cool, right? The two different channels in the body, just to make it easier for you to understand, and just also just show you how important it is for us to balance our energy. So even when you see videos about twin flame unions and stuff like that, it's really important for you to know that you're on a twin flame journey with you first. That balance of feminine and masculine energy gets to be, you know, taken care of within you first before that could be radiated outside, and you could match up with your partner if they are doing the work as well, right? So alternate nasal breathing is very powerful if it's overactive, you're confused, or you're just thinking too much, or too much in your head. You're too much in the upper chakras, right? Too much in the higher realms. And I know some people might say there's no such thing, but I had to learn the hard way. You also need to be in your body. Your body is a gift. Okay, so you get to be present and enjoy your body, enjoy your senses, right? So that's a whole different conversation I don't want to drag. If it's underactive, you want to do active imagination exercises. So you want to sit there and just imagine what it is that you want to create in your life. It could be you want to be healthy, you want to have a successful business, you want to be financially free. Maybe you like your job and you just want to feel better going to work, being able to have better peers and better people to work with that are more coherent and they work well as a group, as a team. You know, whatever it is, you want to imagine yourself. Close your eyes and literally imagine yourself, because children do this naturally, right? They're in a farm, or they are soldiers, and they're putting up a tent. They take their sheets in their beds, and they have the broom as their gun. Like, they know how to do this so effortlessly. And that's why I think it's so important to always go back to when you were a child. Some people might call you childish. Some people might say, oh, you know, you haven't developed. I've gotten that a lot, right? But really, it's not about not develop, but it's not developing. It's really more about tapping into your inner child, tapping into that that inner youth energy that is really what helps you to live life at peace, joyfully. You know, if I remember I used to hate hearing the term adulting, not because I know it's important to take care of your responsibilities, but rather everyone that's adulting looked miserable. They looked sad. They weren't doing anything that they wanted to do. They weren't fulfilling their dreams. They were doing what society and other people told them to do. Get this degree, get this house, do this, do that. And they have the great things of the world, but now they feel trapped in it. They feel like they can't even go out and, you know, do anything on their own or just be, you know. And that's really sad, because we all came here to experience life, you know, as just a unique expression of God, whatever that is for you, you know, and you get to figure that out. But how can you do that if you're stuck in a paradigm or in a box? So it's up to you to do these kind of exercises to help you break yourself out of those boxes, right? So again, the full moon in Capricorn is coming on the 10th. You're possibly already feeling the energy. Maybe you're getting a lot of dreams right now. Pay attention to your dreams. Your dreams are telling you what needs to be released, and because what is coming in needs space to live and ground, so that it can it can create the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years of your life, or whatever, the next cycle of your life, okay? So speaking of grounding, I said the activation, right? So make sure you do your active imagination, and I also said sun gazing works for both, okay? The third one I would do for when it's overstimulated is ground my energy. I know I have it at the bottom somewhere, but you want to ground your energy. You want to eat grounding foods like potatoes and beets, anything that grows from the earth. You want to walk barefooted while you're sun gazing, if you can, if that's available to you. Go to the beach, catch that sunrise or catch that sunset and walk barefooted. Or just go to the grass, go to the beach, go to a local park and do that on its own, or do it in your backyard, or just do it in your home, whatever works for you. Obviously, the more you get your feet in sand, in dirt and grass, the better, because it's closer to the earth element. But use what you have, you know. Some people, where you're watching this, it might be too cold. Other people, I'm sure it's summertime now. Shout out to everybody in the United States, okay? But I know you guys are pretty warm right now. Where I am in Ghana is pretty warm too. It's just rainy season, so it feels cool. It feels nice. Okay, so definitely ground your energy when you do that, okay? Also, when it's overactive, you want to do weight training exercises. You want to move your body, ground your energy. So if you catch something here, if it's overactive, you're too here. You're too much here, too much in your third eye, too much in the higher realms, right? Too much in the higher chakras. So you need to there's too much energy flowing here. You're not paying attention to a lot of things that your body needs. You know, you need to eat healthier foods. You need to exercise. You need to move your body. You get to integrate this, your higher and your lower self, as above, so below. So you need to ground your energy. So that energy is too much here. You need to bring it down. So dance. You want to walk barefooted. Ground your energy, like walk barefooted. What else? Weight train, do anything, pole dancing, whatever works for you to get back in your body, because you're too much in your head. Get back in your body. When it's underactive, you're in your body a lot. This could be also in lack and scarcity and fear, and you don't have enough energy to even dream, right? You don't even have any ideas or visions of your life, of where you're going to be. And, you know, it's not to say, I don't really like the statement also, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Because you can go for those goals and it doesn't turn out that way, because you're also co-creating with life. You're also co-creating with life. You can set goals all you want, which is great. But the whole point of that is to live and enjoy and experience and express yourself, and then surrender the outcome. Because if you don't meet the outcome, this is where you see a lot of people, they lose their minds. You know, and the whole point is to surrender to divine timing to unfold and co-create your legacy, your path. Because a lot of times, I'm guilty of this. You think you know what you want for yourself, and then when you go hard for it and you don't get the results that you want, now you're drained, you're tired, not only physically, and probably not much more physically than you are in your soul. Your soul is tired. You gave it so much energy and attention to do this thing, and you forgot the other most important component, co-creating with source. And that is going to require surrender. Masculine energy was you doing. And now feminine energy, which you didn't integrate, right? And you get to integrate now, of course. You're not being penalized. You're just being mirrored back to yourself what you're lacking, so that you can pay attention and do better. Integrate the feminine, and now you surrender to divine source as well. You claim it, you state it, you ask for what it is that you want, you say what it is that you want, and you surrender. You do what you need to do, meet it halfway. Okay? So instead of weight training and moving your body and doing all of this when it's underactive, because underactive, you're too much in the body already, right? Which means like you don't have enough imagination. So that's why I gave you the active imagination exercise. You can sun gaze, but you also need to do intentional movement. Because I was like, wait, how come there isn't any movement for underactive? Because there's so much energy here, right? You wouldn't want to do movement, but what it is that movement is still good, but it needs to be intentional movement. So when you're doing yoga, you need to be intentional about releasing blockages, about envisioning your life, about imagining the things that you want to imagine in your life. It needs to be slow and intentional. Yin yoga may be very powerful here for you. Doing yin yoga, Y-I-N. Okay, another thing that you can do is qigong. You can do qigong. Is very intentional. It's movement. It's movement with your energy, movement with your body, and it's very intentional with what it is that you're doing. So that could be very beneficial for you. All right. Also, if it's underactive, another thing that you can do is EFT tapping. Learn how to do some EFT tapping. And what you're doing with EFT, from what I've seen and what I've researched, is that when I do EFT, I pair it with affirmations. I pair it, not only just affirmations, hear me out. I pair it with like statements that are true and that I choose to shift out of. Right? And then statements that I desire, that I want, that I am, that I'm creating, right? So let's say you want to lose weight, right? You'll be like, even though I don't know where to begin, even though I'm overweight, even though I don't see any coaches or any support systems that can actually help me to lose this weight, I trust that people will come to me. I trust that I will find the right resources, the right guide for me, the right foods to eat. I could find the right video that teaches this to me. Like, you start to go from the truth, because people don't like saying affirmations and they don't really believe in it, right? Like, I'm healthy, I'm fit. You can't do that if you don't believe it yet, right? You don't feel it in your bones. And everyone is different. Some people, they feel it in their bones even if they don't see it yet, right? It's not just faith. You also need to practice, and you also need to surrender. So yeah. You want to state the statement that is facts, right? I'm in fear. I'm grieving over this situation. I'm overweight, blah, 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 blah. Even though this blah, 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 blah exists, I trust that this is still available for me. Divine intelligence reigns supreme. I am fit. I am healthy. I find the resources to help me get back on track. My body, I'm listening to my body more and more. I'm getting more and more flexible. So you pair those two together, and that's with your intentional movement. If you're doing yoga, if you're doing Tai Chi, or anything like that. All right. So as far as like crystals, if you are into crystals, a lot of people are not. I love crystals. I do believe in the energy and frequency of all things. And it's so dope because recently my sister friend, I went to go get some so I have a snake plant, and I'm learning, okay? Don't judge me. I thought I could go and get some soil to put for my snake plant, because the way they sold me the snake plant is like clay. The soil is like clay, it's like sand, and it's hard. And I'm like, how is this snake plant supposed to grow? And it wasn't, it was hard, right? So I was like, let me get some soil. So I went to my friend's house. We went to go check out a few things, and then she was like, take some soil. So I took some soil. Oh, there was worms and stuff, and I was like, oh, I don't think I could leave this in my house. And snake plants are inside the house, so I took it anyway. Anyway, long story short, the snake plants does not like soil because they don't like it to be damp. They like something of a mixture of like cactus, sand, soil with a little bit of pebbles and rocks, so it could breathe. Water could easily come out of it, and it could grow. It gets some water, and I don't have to water it again for another month, right? Why did I say that just now? I was talking about crystals. Oh, so when I was there, she was like, here, do you want this? I was like, what is it? She was like, I think it's a crystal. There's crystals all over here. I was like, is it a crystal? And she was like, yeah, I know it's not a rock. I've seen some other things that are rocks. And I was like, I looked at it, it was a crystal. And the way that I knew is because the way the refracted light was shining on it. And I was like, man, after I wash this, it's going to be dope. It's a huge crystal. It's like this big. And it came right on time for me. It was a gift from Mother Earth. And it's for a certain type of healing that I'm doing right now. So I'm grateful that, you know, this is kind of like part of surrendering. I've always wanted crystals. The whole time that I've been in Ghana, I'm like, I need crystals, I need crystals. And I couldn't find it unless it was like a vendor or someone that was coming from Accra or from somewhere else that I had to get it from, blah, 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 right? But to get this out of nowhere, and it was this big, it was just like a beautiful gift. Crystals are very powerful if you are into crystals. If it's overactive, you want to use grounding crystals. So the blacks and the reds, right? So black tourmaline, any type of the red jasper, any type of like the dark onyx, jet is really more of a protective stone, but anything that grounds you. Black tourmaline works magical here, right? You can put this under your bed. You can do all those things. What else can you do? You could put it under your plate of food, under your glass of water, whatever. If it's underactive, you want to use amethyst and lapis lazuli. Lapis lazuli, I love. It's for Virgos. It's the throat chakra. It's blue, and it's one of the higher chakras, but it's lower than the third eye, so it helps to ground you, right? Amethyst, of course, is the same color for the third eye, so that helps with bringing in more energy into that center. Put it under your pillow. It's going to help you remember your dreams. It's going to help to stimulate your third eye. These crystals are pretty good for that, okay? Let's see what else. If it's under, you can also chant om, or om, om, om. Or you can listen to one of the YouTube recordings and just let it play in your environment, right? While you're sleeping or before you sleep, you want to do this. Put the crystal under your bed. You know what I'm saying? And just vibe out to that. Some herbs that you can use if it's underactive, go to cola, mugwort is good, ashwagandha is good. You could do a nice ritual for yourself before you go to bed. I highly suggest for you to turn off the TV at least 2 hours, or turn off social media at least an hour or 2 hours before you go to bed. You have plenty to do. Meditate, stretch, take a bath, drink some tea, affirmations, or even just visualizations, and then go to bed. Put your crystal in. That's going to be at least an hour, hour and a half, okay? Don't go to bed with your phone in your hand. Try not to. I can't tell you what to do. Try your best. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So with a little bit more discipline and consistent actions over and over and over again, you'll get better, okay? Herbs, if it's overactive, mugwort is still very good. Blue lotus, chamomile, too much energy, so you want to bring that energy down, right? It calms the body. Anything else? No, I don't want to overwhelm you. This is pretty much it. If you are going through certain type of like hyperactive or hypoactive symptoms with your third eye, maybe you're not clear about the vision for your life, or maybe you are, but you're starting to get a lot of distractions, or you're seeing a lot of people are coming to distract you in your life. You're not focused or anything like that. Definitely try any of these exercises out. Watch the other movie and let me know. Comment down below exactly what it is that you're going through. and what you're doing for it to kind of like help you during this time, because full moon in Capricorn right now is definitely, it's heavy. It's heavy. You will get dreams and certain type of spiritual insights to help you move forward, to help you move you forward, release old contracts, old relationships, things that does not support you, and help you to ground that energy, ground that awareness, ground your legacy into practical results, practical action today. All right, so thank you guys for tuning in. Hit that like button. I'll see you guys in the next video, which I'm gonna probably do right now, well, after I eat, but the sun is going down. You know, it don't look right when the sun go down. But anyway, thank you guys for watching anyway. Peace out. Love y'all. Bye.